beautiful. Today we are here to talk about a spring palette. I have a lot of palettes to talk about and to show you, so let's get started. I'm not going in any particular order because I assure you I have so much. I have seen a lot of YouTubers doing this kind of video limited to 10 eyeshadow palette, but I'd like to give you more options. Maybe you have one of the palette I will talk about. So let's start with this NARS palette. This was the Ignited, and this is quite springy for spring palette because you have these shades here that are quite look, they are a little bit lighter actually than they looks like in camera, but these are really, this is a very easy palette because it's quite nude, neutral, with this pop of pink and peachy, and so I think this one should be, if you bought when it was released, I guess 2 years ago, I'm not sure, this would be a good palette to play with during spring. Let's go ahead, and if you bought neon palette from Huda, all of them are spring palette. I bought, I don't know why, because actually I don't like neon colors. However, I bought the neon pink, and this one, as you can see, it's almost unused. It's a really pink purpley and spring palette. I love these tones in here. They are really great. Look, they are beautiful, but I do not reach to this palette so much, but this is called spring for me. I have so many stuff on my desk now that you cannot imagine actually. Okay, let's move on. Next one is a Pat McGrath, and this is a Mothership Sublime Golden Opulence. This one is the 6 pen palette from Pat. I bought this on sale, and this is a nude. It's called gold. Actually, it's more pink than gold because you have just this gold in here, and then you have these two pinky taupey brownie colors, and then you have two. Also, this one is sheer light pink. This is quite springy, and you have a matte brown and a matte light brown color to smoke and blend the look. Okay, let's move on, and let's go to the, again, Huda. I know this kind of palette haven't been so hyped and so liked by the beauty community, but I think they are, for me, for my experience, for what I'm looking for a palette, this palette were quite good for me. This is the Haze collection. I have 2 in here, and I took the I have all of 3, but I will show you the purpley one. This is not so much purple. That's the reason why it was not so hyped, but it's quite springy because this purpley color are not so dark to call winter, and also this color in here, you see there is a strange light today. I don't know why. Maybe I can try. Let's try to move this one a little bit up. Let's see, and remove the phone from here. Okay. And that's the color I think that will work quite good during spring. We are going to have a little bit more fun in the next palettes. I promise. Next one is the Alyssa Edwards palette from ABH. This is a very colorful one. This is one of the palettes that I used the less. I do not understand the vibe that was around this palette, because it's not okay. You see, you have this blue, this fuchsia, this yellow. They are greatly pigmented. They are very good. And also the purpley one. And let's see, I think we can swatch this one. Yeah, this is a very neony color. This is quite nice, and I think this one could be a good palette to play with during spring. You have blue, you have yellow, you have bright fuchsia, you have some toned down color like the Supreme inspired that are light browny color. This should be, I think I will play with this one in the next week. I also thought to change my program and not doing more for in for out palette for a month, but just changing the palette every day. Let's see, I'm thinking about it. The other Huda Sand palette that I think is quite nice for spring is the sand one. The sand one is it has also this kind of pinky shade that are always present in any palette from Huda. So look, this is a very light, and I think this color would be nice for spring. If you have to do a very easy look, nude look in spring, this could be the tone you would like to go on with. Let's move on. Viseart. I think the Rose Edit. This is the one with 12 eyeshadow pan, small eyeshadow pan. Look, this is called Spring. Actually, this is spring for me, and pair with this one and this one and this one. Look how springy a look with this four color will be. So this is for sure a palette you will enjoy a lot during spring, and I think I will do at least a look with this one for sure. Next one, Nabla. I have here the Poison Garden, which is this is midway, because tones on here are quite dark, so not really calling spring, but see, look here, this one, the orangey one, look, they are quite springy. So I will say this one should, if you have this one could be a good spring palette. And also the quality is really good. Another spring palette that I need to play with more, because I bought it quite recently on the release and never had the chance to play with it so much, is the I'm coming, I promise. Okay, is the Child palette from Star Wars Mandalorian. This from Colourpop. This is so beautiful. Look, this is a very green spring palette. I love it. I already did some looks with this one. I'm not on the YouTube actually. Look at this color. Oh, these greens are so nice and not so common actually. So if you have this one, you will do some very great looks for spring with greens. Lovely palette. Another for sure a spring palette is the Escape Pod from Kaleidos. Look how this is. Oh, this is spring. I used the Kaleidos palette today, but I just used three colors, okay, this green and this brown and this brown and this creamy shade. But you have all this row are springtime, and also this color and this orangey here, look, oh, it's so pretty. And also look how beautiful are this shade. They are great quality. I really enjoy this palette. I did another look yesterday with the same palette, different shades, and that look one also was so great. So I will say that this is the perfect, this is the best palette for spring I've shown you up to now. Next one is, okay, let me move on. Next nails I will have on will be this one, so they are springtime. Next one is the Mothership number 8 Divine Rose 2, and this, you see, this is spring. This is the elegant spring calling. Look at this beauty. Oh, this palette is so beautiful. I think I will not put this palette away, but just trying to find a place somewhere on my desk, so that I will do a look for a look a day with each of them. And this is so beautiful. I'm so happy I bought, because I was not so sure it was nice enough for me, but for sure it is. Next one is the Catrice Jewel Overload Eyeshadow Palette Ruby Extravagance number 2. If you don't like to spend so much money, and if you because you don't like to spend money on makeup, you don't like to spend so much money on a palette, maybe you are not using so much, I will for sure tell you, go for Catrice or another palette I'm showing you later. This is, okay, this is a little bit too red for me to call spring, but I decided to show it anyway, because it's a cheap palette. It's a cheap palette, but with a very good quality. Also, the glitters, they are in this pan, and you know I hate glitter in eyeshadow palette. These glitters are so beautiful. Look how they move from my finger to my hand, and they are glued, sealed in some kind of, I don't know, but they are great, and I think they will not move around and they will not follow into the eyes. So this is a very nice palette. It's nude. You have this color in here that it's so great, and I think this also is a very springy color, because it's full of reflects, silvery, and look, this is a very nice color. Next one, okay, let's go with Huda again. Huda has a lot of palettes, let me say. This one is the light from the nude light, and this is so light. It's too light also for me, actually. I will not wear this palette alone, because the darkest color is this one, and this is not dark at all for me. It's a reddish brown, but look at this color here. They are great. I love them. So this is another quite good spring palette. Okay, of course we have some spring release that are good for spring, so let me show you one. This is the Kiko Mood Boost Diving Colors number 1. This is, okay, I think this is a spring palette because it's in a spring collection, but the colors are not calling so much spring for me, even though they are lovely. This colors are so great. I have a video about this palette with a look, and let me say this palette is very good quality. Not so good, but it's a permanent one from Kiko, and it has a quite good choice of color that could be used for spring. And I've recorded a video with this one, but I'm still not sure I will put it online or not. I have to edit, and then I will think if I will put it online or not. I did a video with these colors. They are not performing really well on my eyelid, at least. Look at this silver, this is so nice, and also this pink, this is really nice as an highlighter, highlighting the inner corner. If you want to save money, let's give a look to this palette. For me it was not so good, but for my eyes, for my eyelid, so I will not say that the quality will be maybe someone like have different feelings, okay? I don't want to be rude, I just want to let you understand that sometimes one thing is not good for a person, but maybe you love it, and that's perfectly fine. For example, there is another palette. I do like the color scheme, I do like some color. What I do not like is that the eyeshadow are very I will show you, powdery. Okay, this is the Nikki tutorial for Beauty Bay, and I've read a lot of people that loves this palette. Look, I did a lot of fun in this palette using this just for a few times, but the color scheme is so great. All this part of the palette is spring. Look, I love this shimmery shade you have in here. They are great. And also the blue, I need to show the turquoise one, because that's I do not like blue and turquoise and the similar shades so much. This is a great shade. Look, that's beautiful. The only thing that I do not like is that the matte, they are really powdery. However, this is a great palette for spring, and I've seen a lot of people loving it, even though they pan it quite easily. So it's a matter of preferences. I thought that I need to show you this palette. Maybe if you like the color scheme and if you found it on sale, that will be a good buy. Next one, Mulak in my birthday sweet palette. This is a palette all year round, let me say, but these shades are so nice that I think you will love to use it on during spring. This is my best shade of the palette. I use it every time I use the palette, and also this one, lingerie. This is so beautiful. I need to clean my hand actually, because I have so many colors on. Let's see if I can clean a little bit better my hand. So this is a good palette for spring, also because it's a complete palette, so you do not have to have another palette for browns and skin tones. So that's a very good palette for me. Next one, I do not like this one also, and also the orangey one. I do not remember the number. This is number 1. The orangey maybe is the number 3, I guess. I have it in my daughter's room. But if you like it, this is a perfect spring palette. Okay, you don't have greens, but if you like purpley, rosy and bluish tone, this is a perfect palette for you. I do not I have two issues with this palette. Purpley tones of these pure pigments from Anastasia makes my eyes crying, tearing, crying, watering, let's say. So my eyes burned with these colors. That's why I stopped using it. And also I do not that's the first issue. Second one, I do not like how they perform on my eyes. They are different from other Anastasia eyeshadow that I love, so that's why maybe if I have to try again, thinking this is not an Anastasia palette, maybe that's one. Another one, this was released during spring, so it's a spring palette, and this is the Safari palette from Natasha Denona, and I will say this is a very spring palette. You haven't seen it in my recent videos, any videos, just because I have a lot to talk about since I was out of the stage for ages, but also because this is missing a shimmery shade, so this is a palette I will not play with alone, but I will for sure show you some looks with this palette, because this is a palette I will rate the lower in my Natasha Denona ranking, but it's a very good palette. Okay, we are quite near the end. This will be longer, let me say. This is Soul Blooming from Nabla, and let me say, look at the packing. This is a spring palette, and you have this is color in here that I always use when I'm wearing this palette. And let me see which thing is missing. This one, for example. And look, this is a spring palette. As you can see, my spring palette, quite all of them have this kind of rosy, lilac, purpley tone, because I think these are the tone of the spring. The colors of the flowers I have around my house are this one. Next one, this is a palette I was sent by Skin London. I do not like the amount of glitters you have in this palette, but the color is great. So look, you have orange, yellow, bluish, purpley, grayish, purpley, lilac, okay, one side, blue, this is, I don't know, it's bronze. Look, this one, just to show you four. This is a very, very nice palette. Just to show you the difference between the glitter in the Catrice palette and this one. Now let me just clean my hand and I'll show you. These are just glitters. Look, I have a wet finger. These glitter are going anywhere. So they are not the glitter. I don't like glitters, but this will not be the glitters I like. However, the other tones, if I can remove the glitters from the palette, this is a very nice palette. And then, okay, going back to a very affordable palette from Astra. another Italian brand. This is the Eden Escape, and this is another, this is the this year spring release, I guess, and this is another very springy palette. And also you have green instead of blue turquoise shade that is more on my taste. So this is a very good palette. I did a look with the greens, and it is online. So just to show you some shades, this is a very good palette. Next one, again Nabla Secret palette. This is another quite springy shade. You have teals, you have pinky, you have light gold, lemony colors. Look. This is a very nice palette, and as you can see, the pigmentation is so great. From Nabla also we have, I selected one of the Cutie palette if you'd like to go for a small palette, and this is the coral one. Coral is for sure a spring color. So look, I'll show you this ruby red. This is so beautiful. This coral shade, this pink, and let's see this brown. They are really great. This is one of the palettes I like the less from Nabla because of this, the color scheme, but I could not say that the quality is not so good. It's very high. It's wonderful palette. Let's go on with some other Natasha Denona. I will say Biba palette is one. This is a nude spring palette. Look, you have colors that are not so bronzy, that are more summery ones, but this is a warm nude palette. And let me show you this black. Oh, this black is so particular, because it's black, it's pigmented, it's absolutely unpowdery, but it's so creamy. Okay, just show you two other shades. Whoop. Look at this ochre. It's beautiful. Okay, let's move on. Another Natasha Denona, the last one, I guess. No, there are another one. Another Natasha Denona that is a spring palette for me. It's the mini retro palette. You have two colors only, greens and pinks, and these pair so good together. They are so beautiful. Let's show you. I love this palette. This is a very unusual scheme, and it's so beautiful. Let's move on with Kaleidos. I have 3 from Kaleidos left, and let's see all together. First one is the Futurism number 7, and it's called Sashimi City. This is a nude with a little pink point with this shade, and this shade is, I don't know, gourmet, very nice. Then we have the Future Lavender. I have a broken shade in here, so I'm not sure I can show you in the right way. Let's try this way, just repressing a little bit into the pan. Look, this is broken. This is a lavender palette, so this is absolutely a spring palette. I love it, so beautiful. But let me put it away. Last palette from Kaleidos that calls springs for me. It's the Club Nebula. Look, covering this side, this is a spring palette. Then you have colors to smoke out the look. I can show you a few colors just because I'm swatching all the palette, but you have already seen my swatches in the dedicated video. Oh, it's lovely, and you know how much I love this palette. Another one is the BH Lunar New Year palette. I think this one I'm the only person who bought this palette, but I think these shades here are so beautiful. I don't know why none of the YouTubers I follow bought this palette. This is so cute. It has five glitter eyeshadow, but since the price is so low and the palette is quite big, so it's not a waste of space in a small palette. In a big palette like this, I do not mind, since the price is very low. If there is any glitter eyeshadow, I will use the palette, and when I'm done with the palette, glitters will be used by my daughter, so it's fine. Then last three, Schooled from Odin Size. This is absolutely a spring palette. Look, you have orange, turquoise, purplish, another yellow, fuchsia, greens, and a blue. This is very cute. This is a very good palette. Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This is so beautiful. I love this shade, and this one so much. And also you have this yellow and orangey. Look at how pigmented they are. And also let me see what I swatched, and let me see what we can swatch it now. Just this 4 matte shade. Look how beautiful they are all together. So this is for sure one of the best palettes I will use in the future months. Next one and last one, I have another Huda palette. Another Huda palette, and this is the Mercury Retrograde. Who can say that this is not a spring palette? You have green, teals, blue, violet, pinky, rosy, a little bit of goldy tones, just this awful. This is the awful shade of the palette. This plum performing is so bad. This is so awful, but all the other colors are so good, they're so fine, so I love this palette. Next one, I've just received it, but I think this will be a very good spring palette, and this is Iconica. This is Iconica from Cosmify. I hope I have pronounced it correctly. I'm not sure. However, this is a huge palette, but look, this is almost complete. You have a dark green, gray, turquoise. You don't have a blue actually. That's a missing. You have greens. You have orangey warm tones, reddish tones, rosy, mauvey. Let's see how they perform. This is a silver. Look, they look quite nice. Let's try a matte one. Okay, I will play with this a little bit and let you know what I think about. But I've heard a lot of things about this brand, Cosmify, I don't know how. However, this is a very good and long video. I have everywhere glitters and spring and sparkling, and okay. I will go to bed still having this kind of things on my hand. I hope you enjoy. If you have any other spring palette that I missed out, just let me know in the comment. I hope to see you soon. Have a nice day. Bye guys.